So we all knew this was going to happen, right? We all pretty much called this. Let's just be very clear. Nobody reading this headline right now from Bounding Into Comics should be shocked at all about the news right now. But of course, we need to report on it like we said we were going to. So apparently, the Marvels, okay, the same movie that had reviews basically locked until the day before or day of or whatever it was of the movie coming out, the reviews were locked for a reason, ladies and gentlemen. We say this all the time. If they try to force you to not give a review for the movie beforehand, right, if they put some sort of embargo that is basically up until the day of release, you know that something's going on with this movie most likely, okay? They can try to say all they want, oh, it's to protect the movie from spoilers. They don't want you to know about what's going to happen, even though it's been leaked literally everywhere. It's not about that, okay? Protecting the Marvels was never about protecting the story. It was about protecting the image and about protecting the overall message from the film. Now, with that being said, the Marvels is tanking, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God, that is very shocking. Yes, I know. The Marvels is tanking heavily, and even the critics hate this movie. The critics have right now scored this film rotten, and I don't know if it's going to go up or down or whatever, but as of right now, even the critics don't like this movie. The audience score hasn't even come in yet, and you can only imagine just how bad that's going to be. So before we get into the article, guys, of course, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into the YouTube algorithm. The headline says, despite multiple media outlets gushing about the Marvel's first reactions, critic review scores are extremely rotten. Now, keep in mind, of course, the media is going to shill hard for this movie. This movie has nothing but women in it. This movie has a message in it. This movie is a feminazi, beautiful, wet dream, and they're going to want to obviously maintain their access. So in order for them to maintain their access, they have to give movies like this favorable reviews. They cannot be honest about it, because if they are, now they threaten to lose their access, and how are they going to shill without their access? So it says multiple media outlets attempted to put a positive spin on the Marvels and first reactions from critics. However, critic review scores tell a very different story. Some of the media outlets attempting to praise the film were Uproxx, Games Radar, Collider, The Wrap, Movie Web, and comicbookmovie.com, among others. However, review scores tell a very different story from the media narrative on Rotten Tomatoes. The film currently has a rotten score of 55% from 73 reviews. The movie has an average rating of 5.7 out of 10 with 40 fresh reviews and 33 rotten reviews. The top critic score is even worse, coming in at 33% from 27 critics. There are 9 fresh reviews and 18 rotten reviews with an average rating of 4.4 out of 10. So obviously it is pretty telling what's going on with this movie. And again, we knew this was going to happen because they were trying to stop this from happening, right? Anytime these studios try to stop the truth from coming out about these movies and TV shows, you know damn well that it's going to be a bad movie. You know that even the critics are going to have to say, oh, this is pretty damn terrible, right? It's not just the racist audience reviews, right? It's now the critics are getting involved in this. So again, just imagine when the actual audience review comes out. It says, here's what some of the critics are saying. Owen Gleiberman at Variety gives the movie a rotten review. He writes, there's a place in the MCU for whack job silliness, but in the Marvels, the bits of absurd comedy tend to feel strained because they clash with the movie's most utilitarian tone. Richard Whittaker at Austin Chronicle gives the movie a rotten 2 out of 5. He wrote, a film begins with the script. It quickly becomes abundantly clear that the problems with the Marvels starts with a lumpen, explosion-laden, charmless, and emotionally flat one, and it's all downhill from here. Matt Singer at Screen Crush gives the film a rotten 4 out of 10. He simply writes the messiest Marvel movie. Clarice Lowry at Independent gives the film a positive 4 out of 10. 4 out of 5. She writes, while Marvel's been busy flooding us with endless, exhaustive content, the Costas movie offers us the one thing that made this franchise work in the first place: heroes we actually want to root for. Oh, really? Really? Who actually wants to root for any of these people in this movie? I don't know of anybody that's rooting for Miss Marvel. I don't know of anybody that's rooting for Captain Marvel. I don't know of anybody that's rooting for Monica Rambeau. So I don't know what this person's talking about, but I guess, right? Lindsay Beyer at the Associated Press gives the movie a rotten 2 out of 4. She writes, as is often the case with Marvel's girl power attempts, it feels a little pandering in all the wrong places, and it doesn't really engage with any specific or unique female point of view. Richard Roper at Chicago Sun-Times gives the movie a rotten 2 out of 4. He says, says neither is as funny nor as engaging and warm as it tries to be, despite the best efforts of the talented director Nia DaCosta and a trio of gifted and enormously likable leads in Brie Larson, Tiona Paris, and Iman Vellani. Amelia Emberwing at IGN gives the film an 8 out of 10. Of course, it's IGN. I remember even saying that IGN was going to give this movie a high score before it actually even gave it a high score, so go figure. She says, both funny and heartfelt, Nia DaCosta's MCU debut will have you asking when she and her leading ladies are coming back immediately after the credits roll. Highly doubt it. I highly doubt it, man. You could just tell. Oh my God, you could just tell with these reviews that there are some that are just so obviously BS, right? Like this whole thing from Amelia from IGN just screams, please don't take away my access. Please make sure I can come back next time. Don't take away my Media Shield access. Please, I work for this. I need my access. You know what I mean? Like this, it just screams that. Jeremy Mathai at Slash Film gives the film a rotten 5 out of 10. He explains Iman Vellani is a movie star, but The Marvels is a disjointed and painfully rushed effort. So it's very clear that this movie is just not getting the reviews that they thought they were going to get, right? And they knew this was going to happen, which is why they put that embargo on reviews. We're very clear. We understand this. This is just, it's normal stuff, right, for Disney. And unfortunately for them, they're not going to be able to save this movie. This movie was doomed to fail from the start. They knew that, and that's why they had to reshoot it so many times. That's why they delayed it so many times. They didn't really want to come out with this film right away. They wanted it to kind of just come out when it would do the least amount of damage to their brand, and right now this is exactly what's happening. So they came out with this film, and now they're just kind of letting it run through the wind. Is it gonna make money? Who knows? I can pretty much guarantee it's not going to, just because the budget is so ridiculously high to the point. I don't know why these movies have such high budgets. I really don't. Like I say this all the time. The budgets are the one thing that are just, it makes no freaking sense for these movies to have $200 to $300 million budgets, not including marketing. It's insane. It is insane. You shoot yourself in the foot when you have budgets that high. That means you got to get to 600 million just to break even, and that's not even including marketing. So the amount of money that you have to make just to break even is insane. That's setting yourself up for failure, and it's very clear that Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel and Monica Rambeau are just not able to carry a film on their own to that level of success. You need to have this film have basically like $100 to even $150 million budget at most. But the fact that it's in the 250, 300 range, that's ridiculous, man. There's no way this movie's going to make that much money. But like I said in my last video about Disney Plus and Disney as a whole, they have billions of dollars in cash flow coming from Disney Plus. Even though Disney Plus lost $387 million in the last quarter over the summer, they still have in cash flow $3 billion plus dollars. It is insane. So they can lose a couple of $100 million per movie per quarter and not really feel that. Like, they're okay with that as long as the message gets out. But Miss Marvel, or this movie, The Marvels, is going to be a very huge flop for them. And I think it's going to cost them more money than any movie that has ever come out prior that has lost money for them. So this is probably going to be the biggest get woke go broke we have seen yet so far, at least from Disney Marvel. And I'm sure it's not going to be the last. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.